guys, welcome to this week's video. I want to go through my kitchen and discuss things with you that are could be toxic, more natural ways of cooking food, so you're not putting any toxins into your food through the cooking process, along with storage and stuff like that. So you have to excuse me, I have a cold and it just keeps lingering, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the video anyway with the cold. First of all, I have to talk about our Berkey water. Most people can tell a difference in drinking Berkey water right away. It just tastes so much better. But if you go on their website and enter in your zip code, they will tell you all the contaminants in the city water or country water in your area. So it's very actually interesting to see, like, wow, there's so many different ways to contaminate our water. All right, guys, so next up, we're gonna do our pots and pans. If you're like us, you at some point were using a non-stick skillet, and a few years later, you're like, oh wow, what's that silver stuff? And you realize, like, you had eaten all the non-stick that has come off the pan, and you're like, oh, that's lovely. So last year when we started the Gaps, I got rid of our last non-stick pan, and I saved money and I bought this pan because it was about the same size. This is a pretty high quality pan, but it's a stainless 4-quart. So I really like this for just everyday use. Also stainless, I ended up getting this. It's a 12-quart a few months ago, and this is really good at boiling about 6 dozen eggs at once, which is really helpful for bulk, batch cooking. And then I have our 20-quart stainless steel pot for broth and soups and such. The one thing you have to look out for in stainless steel is that it is not lined on the inside with aluminum. We try to stay away from aluminum because of, I'm sure many people have heard the link of aluminum to Alzheimer's and such. Over here we have a small little 1-quart skillet. This is from Pampered Chef. I really like their skillets, and this is perfect for heating up some broth quickly. And then the cast iron. So cast iron, of course, is a very traditional pan to use. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually very non-stick and very convenient to use. But if you need help, I would get a Homesteading family on YouTube. She has some really good cast iron videos, which have helped me a lot. I've also used this. It's like a clay from Miriam's. Unfortunately, I bought a B lot, and I didn't know how to use it, and that cracked. So I might end up turning this into a planter. It would be fine probably to bake something like sourdough in the oven, because it just can't hold liquid because it leaks, because I somehow cracked it the way I heated it. Okay, so now we're going to discuss surfaces that we eat off of. So we're going to start, with ceramic plates and bowls. And of course, teacups would go into that category for us as well. So that's fine. But for kids, we switched from plastic to these little stainless steel plates. And they're not very cheap. So we save up our Amazon points and get these. Along with the stainless steel cups. And they have, the ones we found, have this little silicone band. So if it's really warm or cold, it'll protect their fingers from the heat transferring on the stainless steel. Okay, along with eating habits, we also do a lot of cloth products in our kitchen, like towels. We do a lot of cloth napkins. That's more of a money savings thing for me. I did that a long time ago. And I do buy napkins to have on hand for when we have a big party or something like that. But generally, we only use towels and napkins. Okay, so down here, I have all of our glass, right by our oven, all of our glass storage. This is pretty much what we store all of our food in. The main ones I use are like how big are those? They're not 9 by 13. They're a little bit smaller, maybe 8 by 10. little glass ones. Of course, there's none in here because we store our yogurt in them and all of our leftovers, but that's what we use for our food storage. A few stainless steel mixing bowls, of course, once again trying to stay away from plastic. One random thing that we do use is I found this stainless steel coffee maker, and this has been really nice. So once again, we're not heating anything hot in plastic. Okay, really quick on utensils. Bamboo is best. If you can get a bamboo cutting board, that's great too. We also use a lot of Pampered Chef, and most of theirs, if not all of their utensil things are made of nylon, which is much better than plastic, and it's very durable. I actually use this for our kefir grains. Sometimes the holes at the bottom are a tiny bit too big, but generally it works really well since you can't put kefir grains through anything metal. And then we have a really nice metal spatula. This works really well with our cast iron pan. Okay, so down here I have another thing I love from Pampered Chef, and that is my Stoneware. They had a really good sale this past Christmas on Stoneware, and I got a sale on the sets that are already discounted, which was great. The newer your stone is, the paler it is. And then as you've used it longer, it gets really dark and seasoned and non-stick. And it's very easy to clean and maintain. And I hope that as I keep seasoning these pans that I can give them to our children at their bridal showers. I especially love the loaf pans. These make great loaves of bread.
Hey Mom, can I get some more yogurt?
So under our sink, our main cleaning area, I do use 7th generation, just fragrance free. Anything artificial, whether it's a candle or a thing you plug in the wall or in a soap, has phthalates in it, and probably a whole bunch of other chemicals, but basically it's not real cinnamon sticks, or it's not raspberries, obviously. So those artificial fragrances are very damaging to your body. So I use a fragrance-free dish soap. Now, Dr. Natasha recommends using a mustard powder to clean your dishes and not using a dishwasher soap, because those leave residues that you end up eating. I cannot find a mustard powder, so if anybody can find a reasonably priced bulk mustard powder, that would be awesome. But that's really the cleanest way to do your dishes. Also under my sink, I keep my Norwex cloths. So I use these just to wipe our counters off all the time, or our sinks, whatever. This is my main cleaning tool, is a Norwex cloth. You don't need soap. It's just naturally antibacterial, cleans really well. And I also have parchment paper. So we use parchment paper pretty freely on the GAPS diet. It's not like plastic or aluminum, where if I have to use those, I will, but I really try to not let them touch the food, and I try to do it after I've cooked something, where it's not on something that's hot right away. We also use a lot of vinegar or baking soda when it comes to cleaning, and olive oil is actually really good. We use that a little bit on our piano. That's really good conditioner for wood. So there's so many natural ways to clean. A lot of people like essential oils. I don't use a ton of those because I think that's like a rabbit hole, and you could easily just keep using essential oils for all sorts of symptoms and other things instead of getting to the root of the issue. But I do think they're nice to use on occasion, and they can be a nice fragrance in a cleaning solution. Now I want to get into salt and spices. We use Himalayan salt for most of our salt needs. I use Himalayan salt because it's probably the cheaper of the nice natural mineral salts. But I also have been buying this. It's a Baja Gold sea salt. It's definitely more expensive. And Redmond's is another good brand. And I bought a coarser grind on this, and it's really nice on top of breads, but it also has more magnesium and other trace minerals than the Himalayan salt. What you don't want is you don't want a processed white salt. Even some of the sea salts can be very processed. regular table salt does not have the right kind of iodine that you need, has aluminum in it as well. And same with table sugar. They both have aluminum in them. So you do not want to be consuming those. There's certain foods that actually have like an industry standard. The ingredients or whatever they use in the processing doesn't have to be labeled. So it's very important to just keep being aware that even though the ingredient list doesn't label it, that certain things can actually still be in that product. I get my spices from Mountain Rose Herbs. There's a process that is the best to preserve spices and preserve all the goodness that's in the herbs and spices. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know Mountain Rose Herbs and even Frontier Herbs are better in terms of the quality that you're paying for. And you can buy in bulk. It'll save you a lot of money if you can buy in bulk, especially if you compare it to what you're paying for in the grocery stores. So lastly, since my supplements are right next to my kitchen, I'm gonna get into supplements just briefly. I have a desiccated liver supplement. I had a weird reaction, but I was doing a few things at once. So I have only taken this once, but there's some other people on Gaps that recommend these liver supplements. I take something called Tudka. That helps a lot with liver too. You'll notice a lot of these are liver focused. That just helps your liver stimulate bile faster. Then we have cod liver oil. Our kids take this when they feel like they need it. Very good and high in the fat soluble vitamins. And if you're taking cod liver oil, you need to make sure that you are eating a lot of other animal fats to balance the vitamin A in the cod liver oil. So like butter, lard, tallow, schmaltz, etc. We have Prescripticist. This is a really good probiotic. You really got to watch probiotics because they can have ingredients in them that actually feed bad bacteria. So you're taking a supplement to try to put good bacteria in and you're actually feeding bad bacteria. Ideally, you wouldn't need a probiotic. I have not taken that since I had histamine issues. I only eat our yogurt, our sauerkraut, our other ferments, cream, etc. So you really don't want to rely on supplements like that liver pill. I don't really need it because I eat liver almost every single day. So ideally, you're getting all your nutrition from your food and healing your body so you can actually absorb that nutrition better. Lastly is iodine. I use Lujol's or J. Crow's Lujol solution 5%. You start slow with this, and I've worked up to a patch. And even for a child, it would be the same proportions to the size of the palm of their hand. I usually put it on our bellies or somewhere where there's like a little bit more fatty tissue. And if it's gone by the morning, within a few hours, I've had all of those. I've had it gone within 2 hours. You're definitely iodine deficient. If it's still there 24 hours later, you probably don't need the iodine, which is great. But there's a lot of like halogens in our environments. Halogens would be like fluorescent lights or chlorine from swimming pools, bromides in plastic. And they're very dominating to iodine. And your body needs iodine, but those other things get in the way and take the place where it's supposed to go. And so when you start supplementing with this, you go slow in case your body purges some of those other things. But I have found I'll go through phases where this is still there 24 hours later, and that'll be fine for a few weeks, and then I'll get a cold or something will change in my body and it'll be gone again by the next morning. And I know that I need to keep supplementing with that iodine until I see that it is still there again in the morning or after 24 hours. We do use hydro flasks and Yetis for our drinks. I try to fill up a thermos every morning of our meat stock, so I make sure I drink what I need to drink that day, and it keeps it hot and palatable for me. Cleaning out your kitchen is definitely a process. This is stuff I've been working on over the course of 5 to 10 years, starting out with one pan, slowly switching over my other pans, saving money for glass storage containers. It's definitely a lot to take in. Oh my. And we have a pig visiting us.
Wait, is that yours?
This pig
That's
keeps
Heidi. That's Heidi.
That is Heidi, isn't it? So I think that about wraps it up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave in the comments any questions or comments that you have. Thanks for watching.